Ladies and gentlemen, today we talk about the deadliest injury of a runner, shin splints. And the worst thing about this injury is that mechanics of its appearance is so easy that it could happen to anyone. Today you will understand what it is, how it appears, and how to prevent it. Shin splints appear in this area. And first thing we need to understand that there are actually 3 different subtypes of this injury. In order to understand this, we need to name organs which can be injured in this area. First is the tibialis posterior muscle. Second is tibia bone. And third is a periosteum of tibia. Periosteum is a shell that covers the bone and helps to deliver oxygen. Also, it helps to take away harmful substances from the bone. And the point that muscle clings to the periosteum and periosteum wraps around the bone. And 3 different injuries is first when we injure the muscle, second when injured muscle put pressure on periosteum and we got inflammation of periosteum, and when inflamed periosteum put pressure on bone and we got a bone fracture. So these are 3 types of this injury, and you may already understand that all of them are connected. Every next one is the continuation of the previous one. But what is the process that lead to the initial one, to the muscle injury? Let's figure it out. To understand the reason, you need to understand what this muscle is responsible for shock absorption and stabilization. You may know that in running you apply full body weight in each leg in turn. And in order to absorb all this shock, our body have a mechanism in the foot, pronation. And this muscle is responsible for pronation, while pronation is responsible for shock absorption. If you want to know more about pronation, you can visit video which appeared by the hint. Here or here, I'm not sure, but check, somewhere here hint has appeared. Okay, you know what this muscle is responsible for. Now you need to understand how it does it. It shrinks and stretches, and that's how it controls pronation, and the pronation in turn absorb shock. But shrinking and stretching cause micro tears to the muscle, which is totally okay because this is exactly how you pump the muscle. But after many moves, it loses its properties. It becomes rigid and not flexible. And instead of shrinking and stretching, it starts to pull the periosteum to which it is attached. And after many pulls, the periosteum say, I cannot handle it, and inflame. And after some more pulls, periosteum pass the let's say this power to the bone, and this is exactly how we get the bone fracture. So now you know the reason for this injury: too much shock load. At some point our muscle will not handle it, at some point our periosteum will not handle it, and in some point our bone will not handle it. And it is super logical that in order to avoid this injury we need to manage our shock load. And here are 4 examples how to do it. First, you can use running shoes with extra cushioning and stabilization. In this case, running shoes will take part of this shock load. Second, you can run on the trails, not on pavement. In this case, our ground will take part of the shock load, not your body. Third, you can train your muscle in advance. In order to do it, we already have a video. One more time, hint appears here or here, so you can follow and you can train your muscle before your runs. And fourth is my favorite: you need to run smart. What does it mean? Is that if you are an absolute newbie, you shouldn't run more than 3 times per week. Or if you, let's say, advanced amateur, you shouldn't run 2 marathons in a row, because during the first marathon you will injure your muscle, and during second marathon you will injure your periosteum. Okay, now we know what this injury is, we know mechanics of its appearance, and also we know how to avoid it. But one last question is still here. If we are already injured, how to understand at what stage we are and how to treat this injury. If we have muscle injury, in this case pain will be on the back side of the shin. In this case we need to reduce amount of trainings, and we can also use a massage of this area. if we have inflammation of periosteum, the pain will be on the front side on the shin, and our bone will feel a little bit bumpy and also a little bit like marshmallow. Why? Because this inflamed periosteum is increased in the size, and this is exactly why it is a marshmallow. In this case, first, you need to visit a doctor. Second, you can continue with a massage, and also you can use overnight compress. And finally, if you have a bone fracture, if you knock on your bone, the pain will be not only in the place of the knock, but also through the entire length and width of the bone. In this case, you need to visit a doctor. Alright, now you know everything about this injury. And my advice to you, do not run a lot, run smart, because this is exactly how you will achieve your progress without any injuries. If you like this video, if you find it that this is exactly what you were searching for, please send this video to your running friend in order to them also to know more about Shin Splints, and also please subscribe to our channel in order not to miss next videos about the injuries or about let's say running technique or about running shoes. So that's it for me for today. Keep well and enjoy running.